the mic.
Get on the mic.
Just get on the mic. Get on the mic, Mike.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Get on the Mic, where it's just me, a microphone, a few notes, and talking about what I think about some of the entertainment stories of the week. Today on the show, we're going to be talking about a few things. First of all, we're going to be talking a little bit about Justice League and maybe a bit of a spoiler. So just be warned of the first story that if you haven't seen Justice League, you might not want to listen to that part. Also, we're going to be talking about people wanting Zack Snyder's cut of the Justice League. We're going to be talking about the Murder on the Express sequel that's going to be coming. The Gambit movie is still a thing, apparently. We'll be talking about that. And a part that I can't promise that I might be too nice about. We're going to be talking about AMC versus MoviePass. First things first, and again, this is a warning. There may be a bit of Justice League spoilers here. Are you still with me? All right. So, did anybody notice the strange upper lip of Henry Cavill as Superman? This is getting a lot of attention, and it got some attention before the movie even came out. Henry Cavill was filming either at the same time he was filming Mission Impossible 6 and Justice League, or it was during the reshoots for Justice League. They were filming them, and he has a mustache for Mission Impossible 6. Warner Brothers had to spend $25 million to digitally get rid of Cavill's mustache. $25 million for that horrid CG that got rid of Henry Cavill's mustache. And those of you that have seen the movie, there is no way you can miss it, because it's one of the first things that you see in the entire movie, because they do that cell phone video of that kid interviewing Superman, and that's the first thing that popped up in my head was, wow, look at his lip. It's pretty bad. And there's other scenes that stick out as well. But, you know, the fact is, of course, the MI6 character has facial hair, and of course Superman does not. And here's a rumor, is that Paramount, who is the producer of Mission Impossible 6, would not allow him to shave that mustache. I mean, if you've seen it, it's a pretty nice mustache. I mean, dude's got some good facial hair, man. So they didn't want to use a fake, I guess. And they couldn't come to agreements, so WB had to spend $25 million in a movie that is not doing as well as they thought. They were expecting that movie to be a big seller, and it hasn't been as big of a seller as they thought it's going to be. It definitely made, I think they were thinking it was going to make over $100 million the first week, and I think it hit 90 something. It didn't hit near what they thought it was going to, and it's still doing okay, but yeah, not the big time player they thought it was going to be. Anyway, so they couldn't come to an agreement apparently with Paramount about this mustache. So, you know, instead of the horrible CG, because I mean, Justice League suffered from a lot of horrible CG. I mean, Steppenwolf was one of the worst things I've seen in a long time. I mean, it's 2017, and we've got movies like the Planet of the Apes movies, which the first Planet of the Apes remake that they did with Andy Serkis, the CG is better than the CG of Steppenwolf. It definitely felt rushed. So I got to thinking, it's like, how would I have fixed this problem? You know, here's the thing, and this is something to do with the movie's plot. If I had to stick with the rules of the movie's plot, this is how I would have fixed it. According to Batman, Superman's body could not deteriorate in the grave. So, from what I could see, his body was healed. There was no big gaping kryptonite hole in the middle of him when they dig him up. So is it pretty plausible to say that his body tissue would still be growing as well, and it healed his body while he was dead? Well, if his body tissue was healing his body, wouldn't his hair continue to keep growing? I guess what I'm trying to say is they should have just gave Superman a beard. You know, it doesn't have to be a thing for all the movies. He can shave it off for the next one. But, I mean, a lot of people thought they were going to go with the long hair and a beard and everything anyway. I mean, the way they brought him back is pretty ridiculous anyway. So, but it worked in the context of the movie, I guess. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but it worked. But if his wound healed, I mean, they could have just made it plausible that his hair is growing. And that's how I would solve it with their rules, with the way they did it. Just give the guy a beard. They could even just say, his body continues to move along like it's alive, even though it's not, even though that's kind of dumb. But the way they did it was kind of dumb anyway. So that's how I would have done it through their rules. Now, if I had my own way of doing it, this is how I would have brought Superman back. Okay. We're never going to get the Reign of Superman story. We might get it in animated form. I think they are working on another one in animated form. And we already had the Superman Doomsday movie. So we're never going to get that, at least in live action form. At least I don't think we will. I doubt it, since they already killed Superman once. They're not going to do it again. Here's what I would have done. I would have Batman discover after Superman dies, like shortly after Superman dies, that Superman had created the Fortress of Solitude. Yes, we had Superman going up north in the Man of Steel movie, but they never had the Fortress of Solitude. Everyone thought that the ship was going to be the Fortress of Solitude, and it kind of was. So what I would have done is, it's just something that we didn't know. Superman had created the Fortress of Solitude, and also that he had secretly, or maybe had someone help him within Star Labs, because they're the ones, if I'm not mistaken, investigating the ship that's still in the middle of Metropolis. They could have helped him, or he could have taken technology from that Kryptonian ship. Okay? So he would have a piece of home up in the Fortress of Solitude. So, one thing that he could have taken would be the regeneration matrix, which is the thing that they used, that a character used, the Eradicator, posing as Superman, used in the comics to bring him back. So instead of having the ship just say, hey, this might work if we do this exactly right, and Flash runs exactly at the right time, we drop the box exactly at the right time. Okay, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to try to explain it like it's real science. But, okay, so you could just use Kryptonian technology. Now, and I'm not saying Batman knew it would work. I'm just saying Batman is Batman, and Batman has contingency plans, and Batman is smart, and Batman tries to figure out everything. Batman could have taken the body, and that's just it. They could have had a whole thing where someone dug up Superman. The people wouldn't have seen that because Superman isn't buried in Metropolis. He's buried in Smallville, right? They could add a whole thing about Lois Lane not knowing, and he wouldn't have told the Justice League. He wouldn't have told Wonder Woman. Batman wouldn't have. He would have just done it for the chance that he knew something was coming. Batman knew the big bads were on their way. So he would have tried to think on his, Batman is Batman. Batman thinks about everything. He has contingency plans. He would have thought, well, we may need Superman. If there's a chance, even though it's a small chance, I'm going to try this. And Batman would have done it. He wouldn't have asked anybody because he's the freaking Batman. So, shortly after Superman's buried, and that way Batman could have done it because, the grave still would have been dirt, right? Shortly after he's buried, he takes the body to the Fortress of Solitude. He puts it in the regeneration chamber in the hopes that they have Superman. But it doesn't look like it's going to work, right? But as the regeneration matrix is working, it's healing his body. It's like imagine a Bacta tank from Star Wars, right? Kind of the same concept. But Batman's taking a chance. And this could even have played into the scene where Alfred said he hoped you'd come, or whatever it was that was in the trailer that wasn't in the movie. That's probably in the Zack Snyder cut. You know, they could have had Superman, you know, kind of sense things were wrong from the chamber, gotten himself out. And while he was in the chamber, by the way, since his body's repairing itself, they could have still used the whole thing while his body can't deteriorate or whatever. They could have had him grow a beard. Again, covering up that stupid fake CG getting rid of his mustache thing. So that's just it. I would have had him heal at the Fortress of Solitude, kind of like he did in the comics, and have Batman do it because it was a chance. It may have been a small chance, but it was a chance. But he's freaking Superman, so of course it works, right? I mean, does that give a thing in the... I mean, the thing they gives in the future, well, if Superman ever dies, we can just throw him in here. Then again, they don't have the boxes or whatever anymore. Grant, I don't even think they mentioned if they still had the boxes. The boxes destroyed. I don't know what they did with them. That movie was kind of a mess. I enjoyed it for what it was. I liked the heroes. Villain sucked, but the movie was a mess. And people are like, wow, that's pretty dark. And, you know, and people would probably say, that's a pretty dark thing. Batman. Why would Batman do that? Because he's Batman. Batman don't... The problem with this Batman is he kind of cares a little too much. Whereas I'm fine with that. I'm fine with a caring Batman. But also, you know, Batman still would have a contingency plan because Batman is the freaking Batman. So yeah, that's a little dark. No, but he's Batman. He would have done it. Batman would have done something like that if there was a chance to bring his newfound, we have the same mother's name, our mothers have the same name, you know, friend, right? He bring back my friend that was my friend for 2 minutes, right? Thank you, Batman v Superman, for that. But yeah, that's just it. It's no darker than what they did in the movie. They dug him up and they threw him in the Kryptonian ship. I think having Batman do it and Batman not telling anyone, and that could have been, you know, a problem they have in the next movie is, and that's just it. Superman coming back to life. Yeah, they had the thing in the movie where he kind of didn't know what was going on. You know, he didn't know he was at the, you know, Superman had some issues. But he got out of those pretty quick. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, here's Lois, and oh, I'm back home, and everything's fine. Fine, it's a movie. But doing it the way I suggest, but then having it be a lasting problem might be a good thing. They could have had Superman, you know, could have came and helped, but then ran off again, right? And then you could lead into, you know, the next Justice League movie where they deal with some of that stuff. So yeah, that's what I would have done to bring Superman back and to avoid the stupid CGing out of his mustache. The next thing we're going to talk about is Zack Snyder's cut of the Justice League petition. Fans are clamoring for Snyder's cut of the movie as well as Junkie XL's score in the home release of the film. A lot of people are disappointed with the part Zack Snyder, you know, part Joss Whedon Justice League that we got. I don't know. I wouldn't say I know if the Zack Snyder film is a better movie or not. It had to be maybe a little more consistent than having two directors do it. That being said, we don't know what all each of them did. I think the majority of the movie is Zack Snyder's anyway, but that being said, there was a lot of stuff in those trailers that didn't make the final cut of the movie. So who knows how Superman came back already? Who knows how, you know, anything was different, right? So on change.org, and it's still up, there's a petition that, as the time I'm recording this, already has over 115,000 signatures of people wanting the Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League. And as many of you know, Zack Snyder stepped down from finishing Justice League after It had happened already, but it was starting to weigh on him. His daughter had committed suicide, and he had had enough, and he decided that he needed to be with his family. Good for him. You know, a lot of people didn't want him on Justice League to begin with. That being said, if you were to leave, you know, this isn't the way I'd want to see someone leave a movie that I didn't want him on, right? A lot of people, I had seen some people out there going, well, good. And that's crap, man. You know, if he left because he did something stupid or got in trouble or just flat out just quit, you know, then we could talk crap. But the dude lost his kid, man. And as much as I couldn't stand Batman v Superman, and as worried as I was for Justice League, this isn't how I would want to see someone go out. I mean, I don't like the guy's work that much. I mean, I think Watchmen has its pluses and minuses. I thought Batman v Superman has pluses. Most of his movies I'm kind of split on. There's nothing he's made that I went, wow, that is the greatest thing ever. And then there's nothing that I've seen of his where I go, man, that is the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm kind of in the middle with Zack Snyder. But yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to see him leave for something like this. But here's my ultimate thought on this. I would like to see the cut. I really would. That being said, it ain't going to happen. The reason it won't happen is because the Warner Brothers won't risk it. They are not going to risk releasing a almost completely different movie because who knows what all Joss Whedon added to it. I'm guessing a lot of the humor. I don't think that Warner Brothers want to risk possibly a better movie being released on DVD because then people are going to be pretty PO'd about that. They're going to be pretty pissed if Warner Brothers didn't release the better movie in theaters. They stuck this movie in there because they thought it was better, but then they've got this other cut. Now, you know, you see director's cuts all the time. Sometimes they're better, sometimes they're not. But this is a different situation where you technically switch directors, and it's kind of the same thing that Disney's dealing with the Han Solo movie. I mean, I guess they filmed a ton of that movie, and then the directors left, and then Ron Howard took over. I mean, who knows? You know, is it Lord and Miller? The Lord and Miller movie is versus the Ron Howard movie. Apparently, they weren't too happy about the Lord and Miller movie. That's why they, we have our differences, and we're leaving, and then they brought in someone dependable like Ron Howard, who will probably be a little more studio friendly. We'll just say. So yeah, I don't think Warner Brothers are going to release a Zack Snyder cut. They may release some deleted scenes, but they are not going to make a cut of it. No matter how many signatures they get, this signature thing is going for like 150,000. Yeah, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. If it does, hey, great. That's something I wouldn't mind seeing, but I don't think it'll ever happen. Next thing we're going to talk about, there's going to be a Murder on the Orient Express sequel. Well, it's a Poirot sequel. It's going to be based on Agatha Christie's Death on the Nile. Kenneth Branagh is expected to return and direct and star as Hercule Poirot. I like this movie okay. I'm not going to say it's a great movie, but it was a decent movie. I liked the characters. I liked Kenneth Branagh. It was a little cheesy, but, I didn't expect it to get too dark. I think the movie would have suffered if it was too dark. Here's the thing, though. They made that movie for $55 million, which that kind of surprised me because I honestly thought it might have been a little more because it's actually a pretty beautiful movie. But that being said, most of it, other than some flashbacks and then some scenes outside of the train, most of it's inside this train. So, I could see how they could have saved money. That being said, they got some decent star power in it too, so I'm surprised that didn't cost them too much. It was made for $55 million, but worldwide, and that's including, I believe, is 50 or 60 some in America. Last I looked, it's 150 million total worldwide that it's made. So, not really a surprise that they'll be making another one, especially if they make that kind of profit on each of them. That's not too shabby for something that hasn't. I'm not going to say it's not relevant, but that's not exactly a young person's type of movie. You had people that love the Agatha Christie books. I've never read them. I've seen some of the Poirot movies, the made-for-TV movies and stuff that they've had. But yeah, it was never one of my things. But I love detective movies, so if the other one, now granted, they're not going to be able to get away with the same stuff that they got away with in this one. But that being said, I've never read the Death on the Nile story, so I don't know how different it is from Murder in the Orient Express. So I'm kind of excited to see that. Next, the Gambit movie. It's still a thing. The Gambit movie could start shooting as early as next year. They were talking, I believe it was March to June or July. They're looking around New Orleans for shooting locations. That's no real big surprise, being that a lot of his origin story is based in the New Orleans area, and he's got the Cajun accent and everything. Gore Verbinski is still attached to direct. The reason why it's definitely moving forward now is because they're starting to talk to other actors other than Channing Tatum, which, I want to hear that Cajun accent, man. I'm curious. If he can hit that, he'd be fine. I just don't know. I mean, maybe I'm hoping they're not just putting him in it because, well, he's Channing Tatum. But Lizzie Kaplan has reportedly been cast into the movie as the lead girl. The character she's playing is unknown, but I'd guess she will probably be playing Belladonna Boudreaux. Don't really know what all characters are involved yet, but if they're doing the New Orleans story and they're doing, I don't think they're doing the origin, but if they're doing a story about Gambit in New Orleans, it'll probably be about Belladonna, or at least she'll be involved. That being said, who knows we don't know what other characters and stuff are involved, except for earlier this week, late last week, I can't remember when I read it, but apparently James Franco has been in talks to play Jamie Madrox, who is also known as Multiple Man in the X-Force comics. I can never remember X Factor, X-Force. It's all of them get jumbled to me. I never really read a lot of those when I was reading comics. But he is in talks to play Multiple Man. But he's also rumored to be introduced in the Gambit movie. So, instead of just forcing him in and, maybe they'll start introducing some other characters in these side movies they're doing. Because we're getting, I believe it was X-Force, and of course we'll get some characters introduced in Deadpool because we're getting Cable there. Maybe it's a good way to get him in. And that way, when they do, like I said, I can't remember if it's X-Force or X Factor that has Multiple Man, but he can be involved in that already, and we already know who he is. Anyway, the release date for Gambit is supposed to be Valentine's Day 2019. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, and now I want to warn everybody. I might get a little upset talking about this. So, possible language warning. I'll try to keep it clean because I like anyone to be able to listen to these, but I can't promise anything because I'm about to rant a little bit. I want to talk about AMC theaters versus MoviePass. I'm a MoviePass user. I've been using MoviePass before they went national big time. We're doing it for $10 a month. I was paying $30 a month, and then had some issues with the app where you had to have certain phones and up. I had an iPhone 4, and you had to have 5 and above to use it, so they let me out of my contract. Then I got a new phone. Eventually, I couldn't afford a phone at that time, and then I finally got a new phone, so I signed back up. And when I signed back up, also the reason I dropped them the first time is because they wanted to make me do from one a day for 40 or one a day for 30 a month to 6 a month for 40, which still is a deal, but it's not the same deal I signed up for, right? But anyway, they moved. So guys like me that have been doing the expensive part or the expensive version, when they went down to $10 a month, I mean, come on, especially for a guy like me that reviews movies, it was great. So MoviePass, for the layman, it's $10 a month movie subscription service. And just recently, they've announced, at least for the time being, a yearly subscription for about $7 a month. Okay. When you think about it, at least around us, the average movie is about $10 a movie, depending on what time of day you go. It could be $6, it could be $12, depending. The thing is, with MoviePass, you can only do 2D movies, can't do 3D. So, but still, for me, I don't care about 3D that much. And if I want to see an IMAX movie or something, I'll just pay for it. No problem. So for me, that, usually reviews on average at 2-3 movies a week. Yeah, good deal for me. It's a good deal for everybody now, especially since it's $10 a month. Here's the thing, though. Also, MoviePass is a MasterCard. I believe it would be considered a debit card. Granted, I'm not sure how exactly it works, but it's a MasterCard, and when you set it up on the app, and then they swipe your card at the theater, and it pays for the ticket, right? They kind of charge your card as you punch it in the app. They swipe the card, and then you walk into the movie. Is it sustainable on paper? No. Think about it. If I'm seeing $30 to $40 a week of movies, average of 4 weeks, that's $160 of tickets for me for $10 a month. I've saved $150, right? Depending on if I do all my movies here or if I travel to go see the early previews, which I don't pay for. So, yeah, I'm looking at saving. I save a lot of money. Let's just put it that way. It's very nice for me. On paper, is it sustainable? No. But also, it's rumored that they're selling your information to third-party companies. No surprise there. It's no surprise if they're doing that. I'd be surprised if they weren't. You know what I mean? Selling your email, selling your address. A lot of companies do that. So I'm not surprised. So that's not what we're going to talk about today. We're not here to debate the logistics of MoviePass. What we're going to talk about today is AMC's hatred of MoviePass. Okay, from the beginning, AMC has been trying to stop MoviePass from being used at their theaters. They have just been saying, how can they sustain this? They can't do this. How can they sustain it? They're trying to sound like they're concerned, right? Okay. First of all, they can't legally stop MoviePass from being used at their theaters without breaking an agreement with MasterCard. So think about it. You go to the movies, you're ready to pay for your movie, you hand them a MasterCard. Not a MoviePass, a MasterCard, and they say, "Sorry, sir, we can't take this. Sorry, sir." What are you going to do? You're going to flip your crap, right? Because the credit card, your normal credit card, say you don't have a Visa, say you don't have a Discover, whatever other credit cards are out there. MoviePass used to be Discover, by the way. They changed to MasterCard, not sure why. As before all this other stuff, this was years ago, a couple of years ago. They won't take your card just because you have a MasterCard, not a MoviePass, just not MasterCard, or it's MasterCard, so they can't take it. That ain't ever going to happen. You know how much money AMC would lose that way? I mean, they're having trouble getting people to come to the movies anyway, but granted, they're most of the theaters anyway. So, I mean, they run the table on, how many theaters. I mean, we have 3 theaters around the Decatur area. 3 theaters. 2 of them are AMC. One of them's a local art theater, the Avon, who is attached to nobody but themselves, and they handle their own business and have no problem using MoviePass there. So AMC, they've been trying to stop it, but they can't, at least right now, without breaking their partnership with MasterCard. So apparently the way they thought they could do it was, well, we can ban these MoviePasses. Well, you'd be banning MasterCard. Can't do that. Nobody could figure out why AMC is doing this. mean, think about this, okay? I'm a regular moviegoer. And I go from, even if I'm just an average moviegoer, okay? Say you do, we'll say 4 movies a month. Okay, 1 a weekend. Just something you like to do. You go to the movies. Oh, this might be good. I'll go see this. Okay. Average movie is $10 a movie, so you're looking at $40 a month. Okay. And that's just if you're going by yourself, right? Going with someone else, a lot more. But you find a way to spend $10 a month and can get those 4 movies plus extra if you wanted to do it. Okay. So technically, if you're doing those 4 movies a month, spending $10, you are saving $30 a month. If you're going to the movie and you didn't have the money, you just had money to go to the movies, didn't have the extra money, couldn't get popcorn or drink or candy or whatever, chances are, if you're saving that much on movies, you're probably going to spend a little more at the concession stand. Right? Theaters make their money from the concession stand. You wonder why you pay so much for concessions. Why does it cost $15 for a large popcorn and a large soda? Because that's where they're making their money. They're not making a ton of money on the movies. I'm not sure of all the logistics there, but that's the general gist of it. They're making most of their money off the concessions. So, AMC is going against this MoviePass where people will save money and spend more money at AMC, and they're mad about this. They'd be selling more concessions. AMC would be making money, and they're mad. Why are they mad? Okay, leave that there for a second. So they're mad about it. Also, now, there's a rumor, and I've only found a few things about this. I don't know if they can legally do this or not. I haven't heard anything back. I've tried to contact both AMC and MoviePass about this. Of course, they're not going to get back to little old me. But if they do, I'll be the first to let you know. AMC apparently will no longer accept MoviePass after January 1st, 2018. Okay, so why are they doing these things? Why are they just against it? And now why are all of a sudden they saying we're not going to take these cards anymore? Well, why are they doing these things? It turns out the reason is more petty than you will ever believe. Apparently, AMC was shopping around their own version of a monthly subscription service. So, from what I'm hearing, they were doing this, but it was receiving a big-time cold shoulder from the movie studios. The movie studios are okay with MoviePass because there's no real interruption of money there. AMC, I believe, was trying to, and this is just my own opinion, their subscription service probably would have been like $40 a month, maybe more, probably for a set amount of movies where you'd save a little and they'd still be making all their profits. They don't want to share the profits. They are doing this because they're sad. They're sad that somebody thought of it first. How petty can you get? You're mad because someone came up with an idea and you're smacking yourself in the head that you didn't think of it first. That's pretty freaking pathetic. So, of course, it's all about money. And I'm not really surprised because it seems that AMC, as much as they own, they always seem to want to own more. I don't remember who owned Carmike or who owned the theaters around us before Carmike took them over. And Carmike was pretty big around us. And then AMC, I mean, and you'd see a lot of Carmikes. I would travel up to Rosemont for Comic-Con or something, and there's a Carmike there. Well, all of a sudden, it's an AMC now because AMC bought all of Carmike. AMC has bought so many smaller theater chains. Let's just say, the big fish was Carmike. Well, AMC's the shark, right? So yeah, they were mad that someone else thought of it first. A company came in and said, we've got an idea. Netflix is cool. Why can't we do something like that for movie theaters? And like I said, they may be selling your information. Well, your information's probably going to get sold either way and something else. AMC would have done it. AMC would have done the same damn thing had they thought of it first and got their subscription service first. And they would have probably charged you more. So, here's the thing. I'm a MoviePass subscriber, and it works really well for me. I've had minor issues with it. The customer service sucks now. I remember when you could use the in-app you could use the app to contact them if you were having problems getting into a movie, and then, they'd get with you. So, it'd be like right then and there. Well, after this whole $9.99 thing, they've had so much trouble keeping up with everything. It took me forever. I think I had 4 movies that I hadn't been reimbursed on. It took months, like a couple months. Which, you know what, I kind of understood. They finally got back with me. They took care of it. But I kept telling them, it's like, look, I was like, I'm a critic. It's only going to get more expensive. Now they have this whole thing where it kind of says, if the movie's not there, well, it's just not there. But then they came up with this thing saying there's a button on the app now that says, if the movie's not there, hit this button, and you can only use it like once a month or something like that. I think it's just in case, which, I'm still willing to take that risk. If the movie's not there, something's wrong with the computer, I'll just be like, well, I'll just pay for this one. I'm still getting a $10 a month subscription service, and I see, upwards to, 2, 3, 4 movies a weekend sometimes, and some during the week. I may travel during the week and go see another one that we don't have around here or something. I use every advantage I can. And I'm still saving money. I remember I was spending, it was a lot each month. I can't remember how much I spent the first year I was a critic, or the second year when I was seeing everything and there wasn't a MoviePass to use. So here's the thing, though. 2 of the 3 theaters around me are AMC. The theaters in Springfield, which is half hour, 45 minutes away from me, they're AMC. A theater in Mattoon, Illinois, about an hour or so away from me, or an hour-ish around there away from me, it's an AMC. Champaign, Illinois, there's an art theater. There's an AMC. Savoy, that's near there, I believe, is Goodrich. I'm not sure if Bloomington has an AMC or not. I don't get to go to the Blooming theaters. I know they got some that aren't. But Bloomington's about 45 minutes away, so I'm spending gas money, right? So that's not going to help me. So here's the deal, AMC. Think about this. I'm just going to say this to you. I may have to become a different critic if you do this, because I might not be able to afford to be a critic anymore. I'm not saying I won't use the MoviePass at places. I'd probably still subscribe because, if I need to go to Springfield or the Avon Theater, which is nearest, which still use it, I can use it. But if AMC don't take it, I may just pay for my movies. I may not. If I really want to see it, I'll pay. If it's not something I really want to see, then screw you. But here's also something that's fun. As a MoviePass subscriber, and as a Stubbs Premier, or whatever their, I believe it's Premiere, the one that you pay a little more for that you get all the big time perks. I believe it's Premiere. Here's the fun part. Even though you're not supposed to get them, when you scan your Stubs card and then your MoviePass, you still get the points. Even though you're not supposed to. It's supposed to be against the rules. You still get the points. So, every time I get a $10 movie through MoviePass, I get 1,000 points. Every time I buy food at AMC and use my Premier card, I still get my points. So no matter what, I'm still getting the points. And then I get points added up. And I just used my points to renew my Stubs card, my $15 a year subscription fee. So that's $15 less that you paid for. Thank you. And then, of course, that added up because of MoviePass. So, if by chance you guys do this ban in January 1st, I love being able to tell you that I've screwed you over for a long time now. You know, if it works, it works. If I was going to hand someone a MoviePass and they said, sorry, we can't give you the Stubs points, I'd be like, that's cool. I understand that. Nobody stopped me before. Heck, I didn't even know you couldn't do it till not too long ago. It's buried in the Stubs Premier rules somewhere where it's, subscription services can't be used. Well, then it's kind of funny. It still works in your system. There was a while I had some points adding up because I didn't use my points because honestly I didn't know I had them. I was just scanning my card because it was just habit. And you're getting the points. Oh, hey, I have all these points. I'll just renew my Stubs subscription. And so I'm good for another year. That's $15 more in my pocket. Thank you, AMC. Thank you, MoviePass. So yeah, if you guys get rid of MoviePass, which honestly, you could just start telling people not to take it. Here's the thing. If you don't have a legal way to do it, people are not going to come to your theaters. Hell, people aren't coming to your theaters around us anyway. If the Avon movie or if the Avon theater gets the movie, they're not coming to you. See, I go to the AMC theaters on premiere nights because there's less people there and I can focus more on the movie. Not because I like AMC theaters. I like the people that work there. This has nothing to do with the people. This has everything to do with AMC as a company. I wouldn't go to your theaters if I didn't have to. But since you're one of the only options around us and I want to be a movie critic and I want to do a job that I find fun, then I don't have a choice sometimes. When I go to some of these premieres in St. Louis that I'm not paying for, some of them are at AMC theaters. Well, you know what? I still don't give you any money because I don't buy concessions. I give you guys the least amount of money I can because I hate you. I hate your company. I hate your business practices. If I had a choice, I wouldn't go to you. And when I do have a choice, when I can go to the Avon, there's a lot of people there and it's hard to focus on the movie. So the only reason I come to you is because your theaters are barren. If you guys do this January 1st thing, you are going to drive away so much business. I'm not saying it'll close you down, but it's definitely going to hurt your bottom line and you're going to try to raise prices more ridiculous than they already are. Your food prices are pretty exorbitant. Your ticket prices are high. The $15 Stubs rewards don't add up fast enough, especially if you're just doing the free program. The free program, they add up even slower. If you pay $15 a month, they do add up, but not that fast. Not to really make it worth it. The only reason I have the Stubs Premier card is so I can get the occasional premiere or the occasional early screening of a movie, which I've taken advantage of every time I can. So, you're going to drive away a lot of business. In this day and age where DVDs are coming out 3 to 4 months after a movie's in theaters, it's going to get to a point, especially if you guys are as big as you are, and you start trying to pull this crap where, wham, we didn't think of it first, so we're going to take our ball and go home and you can't play here. That's them to MoviePass. People are going to start seeing you for what you are. You're not the friendly, we got fun little red ball mascots, and here's what's coming to your friendly, family-friendly AMC theaters. It's going to be, they're going to put little horns on them little red balls because you're going to be the devil of the movie industry. People aren't too forgiving of Hollywood right now. You think they're going to like movie theaters for screwing them over too? It's going to be a different business. It's going to get to a point, I hate to say it, and I don't want it to be this way because I like going to a movie theater. I like going to see something on a huge screen. But it's going to get to a point where people ain't going to care anymore. People aren't going to give a crap. People are going to start going, either waiting for the DVD, or it's going to get to a point where, it's going to get to where you can purchase movies and watch them at home. And I know a lot of directors and stuff, well, our movies are meant to be seen. I get that. But you're going to make it too expensive. You're going to run out a company that is trying to make it easier for people to come to movies. Is beneficial to you, but you're still pissed off about it because, we didn't think of it first and we're not getting the money from it. You greedy a-holes. You're not getting all the money for it, so you're going to cry about it. You're going to try to level the playing field and I say level your playing field to your level is what I mean. To your advantage. So you get all the profits. Do you really think people, if you come out with your own subscription service and it costs more, now if you did it at $9.99, I'd give you guys some credit, but it ain't going to be the case. If it is $9.99, it's only going to be for a set amount of movies. Oh, I'll give you a deal where you can get 3 movies for $9.99. No, people ain't going to buy that crap, man. No way. People are not going to buy that crap. They are going to support MoviePass. And yes, people are having some problems with MoviePass right now with their customer service and everything, but they're going to figure it out. They're going to get it all figured out. And now that they've come out with this yearly subscription plan, which, by the way, I have to be wary of because if I end up not being able to review every new movie because you guys are a-holes and don't let people use MoviePass, I won't be able to afford it anymore. Even if I had the yearly plan, then I'd be out money. So yeah, I almost dare you guys to do this. I don't want to see you do it. I think you guys need to play ball and be cool. I think you guys need to just let MoviePass do their thing and just grin and freaking bear it that somebody beat you. Yet you still are going to make money because somebody beat you. People came up with an idea first that's going to make you money, but you're pissed that somebody beat you to the punch. That's pretty sad. That's pretty petty, and it's pretty freaking pathetic. You already own most of the movies, or most of the movie theaters in the damn country. Yet, we didn't do it first, so we gotta cry about it. Look, I'm all for companies making money. But and this is the same thing that's happening with Netflix and stuff too, but at least it's not someone else trying to own the whole thing. Netflix has become its own thing, where they're making their own shows and everything else. Well, someone like, we'll use Disney, for example, is talking about coming out of a subscription service. That's different. They're just trying to do their own properties and things. It's kind of like when Marvel got their properties back to do movies. It's all about owning your own thing, right? That's what the Disney thing is about, which is why I'm cool with that. If you like a lot of Disney stuff, you subscribe to the Disney thing, right? But the AMC thing is different. They don't want competition. And yeah, Disney's a big company too, but you know what? They own what they own. If they want to do their own Star Wars stuff and they want to do their own Marvel stuff, fine. I'm not sure how the deals work with the Marvel stuff that Netflix is doing, but I know the Disney stuff's leaving. I'm fine with that. If Disney wants to come out with a service that says, hey, you can watch everything of ours that we have, well, that's their stuff. They're not trying to, and yes, they buy other properties or whatever, you know, and if they bought Fox, that would be a big thing. That being said, I think the reason they want Fox is because it benefits stuff they own. AMC just wants to be the only damn movie theater in the country. They're not even owned by us. I'm not going to get all patriotic or anything, but they're not owned by, they're not a U.S. company. Pretend like they are. They're not. That don't matter. That's not what this is about. This is about one theater chain wanting to be the only theater chain, a monopoly. And it's about them being petty, that someone else did it better than them. And it's sad. So AMC, do what you will. You're a big company and I'm a little nothing. You're never going to hear this. And if you do, I hope so. I hope you do. I doubt you will, but I hope you do. But do what you're going to do. I dare you, because you're going to lose business. You're probably going to lose my business. And for all the people that signed up for MoviePass, which apparently there's a lot of them. I'm just one. But especially since it's $9.99 a month. We here in America like a good deal. Well, $9.99 a month for movies in the theater. Even if you just see one a week, that's a hell of a good deal. And we Americans love a good deal. So they're signing up in droves. How many do you think are not going to go to AMC theaters if you screw MoviePass over? Does MoviePass need to improve? Yes. Do I think they will? Do I think they'll improve? Yeah, because I dealt with them before they did this $9.99 thing, and it was an amazing customer service. It's because it was more of they had a smaller group of people to take care of. Well, they didn't realize how quick and how big it was going to get right away. And they're dealing with it. Some people are happy with them right now. Other than, like I said, other than the few times that there wasn't a movie on the app, and they took care of it. It took a couple months, but they took care of it. But I think people that are doing MoviePass now, I'm not the only one. I'm willing to bet that they will drop AMC like a bad habit. And AMC, like I said, it may not close. They may not go out of business. But boy, is it going to hurt. And if it does, I'm going to be watching. And if it does, I am going to smile and I'm going to laugh because your guys' business practices suck. And you're a bunch of petty whiners because you didn't make up the game. You didn't come up with the rules. You didn't do it first. That's all I have to say about that right now. If you want to comment about anything, or if you want to comment about anything that I talked about today, just comment in the section down below, and I'll get back with you again. Hope you guys enjoy this program. I'm enjoying doing it. I like just sitting in front of this microphone and talking about stuff, especially like today when I saw that article about AMC versus MoviePass. Oh, I couldn't wait. I saw this article on Tuesday, and I could not wait to record this. I've had a good time with this program. This has been Get on the Mic. I'm Gino Reynolds from The Real Gino. Peace.